Hi guys, I am trying to do really interesting series this month. As you notice, I did Gypsy and I did monthlies because we are going into this Mercury Retrograde. So check my Mercury Retrograde video. I'm going to put it somewhere in the corner if I remember, and if not, just cruise my channel. I just post it on the same day. And I figured, because many of you will want to know if their X is coming back. So here is the X series here. X series is still, I guess, on a special. It's not $65, it is still $50, so take advantage of it. Check me on cattarot.ca, www.cattarot.ca. And I also have a speed up promotion, so you get it within a week. So it's a good time to kind of grab it. And also, whatever it is, a general reading here doesn't have to be you. So that's a good news or bad news depending on what the reading is. I am using these cards. They are from a different deck. I have the same cards in this deck. For example, these are just the titles of the book, and they are kind of signifying to me the category. It took me quite a few years to develop the concept that actually works, that I can actually really securely say the answer. So this category here is going to tell me really everything that is going on for you as a couple. This is going to tell me everything that is ungluing you as a couple. So here I'm going to be able to know if your relationship is ever if there is a possibility for ever making it. I'm using the fire here for dating because Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands, whether you're like girl to girl, boy and boy, maybe you should use woman to woman to be politically correct, and I hate being politically correct. And the energies and communication in between. The reason why I'm using Wands is, one, I'm rule breaker. I'm Aquarius, and I don't like to follow things, especially when they don't make sense. So astrology and tarot can be linked together. It does make sense, but when we are dating, we all shift initially, and even when we kind of reunite with someone, we don't go immediately, okay, thanks for coming, I'm going to just sit on a couch and finish my movie. No, we don't go to our regular mode. We are into this dating mode, and that is action, that is fire. So that's why I'm using fire. And these two categories are going to really tell me about the outcome. One, if this is in your best interest, if karma really wants you to do that, and really what is the next step and how is this going to progress. So now when you have this common introduction, please don't ask me why do I have the same cards everywhere, because each and every time it happens. So I was really quick with this, and I'm going to go and start with the reading for each sign. So let's go. Hi Leo, welcome to Leo Mercury Retrograde edition. So this is basically March and April of 2018, and the Mercury Retrograde is in Aries, so it's a compatible sign, but Aries likes to butt heads. So let's see what's coming up for you guys. First of all, great news that we have 3 fire cards over here, actually 4 if you really count this one, and we do have some kind of grounding energy as well. Right off the bat, I think that somebody is coming back into your life to a point that you're going to discuss where to go in from there. This is unbelievable, lovely spread. I actually really wish that every client comes to me with this kind of spread. So see, we have the Temperance over here, but it's in this category, and when it's upright, it's saying you know what, I can create a gold from the lead. I can merge two very different things. That's extremely important when you're trying to actually make the relationship work, right? Very important. Now this is kind of interesting. Somebody doesn't want to be single. This is not the right direction to be in a relationship. You have to figure out your needs, and this is not the one that is basically taken in account, right? So some of you, maybe you are getting more stabilized emotionally. It's kind of like reaching this point of saying, okay, you know, I know who I am. I know I can contribute. I want to be a mother. I want to be this generous. It's a person who is really giving, but it's also, you know, you guys are not Queen of Cups. You're Queen of Fire. So in my school that I'm actually currently working on, I'm going to talk about the personalities. This is kind of like a really important chapter that I notice most of our readers don't have it down packed. So Queen of Cups most likely is not going to be a friend with Queen of Wands, right? Because this one is like, let's go there, how about, like, I mean, skydiving, how about, you know, racing, oh, look at this guy. And this one is like, hey, I'm knitting, hey, I just want to cook something, hey, look at this child. It's like, you can just imagine the temperaments are not matching. So what I'm seeing here is that it might be that you are becoming sort of like this kind of flavor, because in Mercury retrograde all bets are off. We are not who we are. Maybe you came from the space where you were not in emotional balance. Maybe, you know, like sometimes we get angry and aggressive if bad circumstances are in front of us. And this also, I usually reach this as an air sign, which is like even more extreme to go into this when I especially see some I don't know, animal shows. It kind of like really evokes the compassion. This queen is good for empathy, but this one is good for compassion. There are two different flavors of the same. Empathy is understanding what the other person goes through, and sort of like trying to kind of like see how you can, you know, understand how you know, you kind of like are bridging that gap in between. But compassion is truly kind of like being there. So it's kind of like, I would say, step further, and hence this person has to be extremely emotionally balanced, because that kind of like is creating this. So in between the partners, it looks like it's going to be tendency, hey, where are we going from here? Look, you have like 3, like, which is like my ships card. Are we going to be friends? Are we going to be kind of like partners? Are we going to be, you know, husband and wife? Friendships, relationships, partnerships card for me. So, and this is victorious sign, like kind of like things are going forward. But then there is like this sign of warning, like look at this, like 2 bookend signs that are major arcana. So major arcana is saying, hey, look at inside of this room, and this room seems to be very nice, like everything seems to be great. But I think this is coming because of this, because both of them are sort of like Earth. This new phase, which is obviously significant over here, because the Hangman generally suggests a new phase, and so does the 9. But both of them being reversed. So why is that? Why is the saying you shouldn't be going to the next phase yet? You see, the Hangman is a really interesting card. It says it's nobody's comfortable in this situation. Kind of like this is the person who's subjected to it's a sacrifice. Sometimes you are going through a sacrifice, kind of figuring out, well, in this situation I'm going to pull myself out, I'm not going to benefit, and sure, so be it, kind of a thing. You know, sometimes when you're at your end of your wits ends, right? And maybe this is what this is saying to you. You have to start seeing situation from every angle, well, one party in this particular thing, because yeah, it can be worked, but what is the cost, right? So it's like me asking, can I get a Ferrari? Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah, you can. Do you have $1 million? Oopsie. So this is asking you kind of to take other things into account. Even if you have this quote-unquote proverbial $1 million, maybe you don't have money for insurance. Maybe you work or live in a neighborhood where this car kind of wouldn't fit. Kind of like you're getting the whiff of what I'm explaining. So this is definitely asking, and look, plus, and this is reflecting back to this card. It's saying, if this is glued together, it's going to stay glued. Are you happy with how the situation will kind of like resolve? So let me see. Also 10, 13, 23, 27. So yeah, everything. Pardon me. Did I do 12? Pardon me. 12 and 9, 21, 25, 35, 39. No, everything adds to 3. Well, I mean, 9s are not changing the thing. And the 3 is the Empress. So it looks like a lady in this relationship is the one who is kind of like really excited about the progress. The 3 goes back to the Empress card, and the Empress is the mother, creator. So hence now I understand better why the Queen of Cups is showing up here. Queen of Cups is like one person is so strong, and mind you, this can be men or women, right? Somebody is seeing one party as everything. This is kind of like the woman that men want initially, but it's also sometimes the woman when the men end up with that they kind of like feel very sorry about. So why do I say that? This is a person who needs lots of maintenance, so that would be a high maintenance. Sometimes when she's reversed, that will be purposely she's doing that when she's upright, just simply she doesn't have that many life skills. So just keep that in mind. Let's move forward. There you go, look at this. You are showing up Queen of Wands reversed, and the Magician is showing reversed. Oh my gosh, you have repetition, and the Knight of Wands reversed. What the heck is going on here, my dear Leo? From something that seems to be so nice and promising and the sunny days out there, where do we go, where do I sign, to somebody giving up on that kind of deal. Somebody saying, look, you know, you're like in and out of my life. I kind of deserve to know where we are going, because the Magician reverse is saying something cannot something cannot go, the spark is not there, something cannot be created, right? And the Queen of Wands, you see, like I told you what the Queen of Cups is reversed, but Queen of Wands reversed is somebody who could be pushy and domineering and whiny and too much to handle. So maybe a person is seeing that and seeing, maybe if you are a woman here, maybe you're being blamed for something not working out, for something that you have to be, something that other person feels that you had to do in order for them to make them happy. The communication will take place, and maybe like I'm in second 10 days of this reading, and the Page of Swords is pretty abrupt, so please check my Mercury Retrograde, because the Page of Swords is like blah, kind of a thing, and somebody's going to get hurt over here. Things will come out on the surface that are not going to be kind, because look at this, swords, 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 very bad swords, 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 bad swords, and then the Death card. Now this is really puzzling, because I do see fire, I see your involvement, almost like as if this person is you. And now you're feeling that some promises are being reneged to, and because look at this, both Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands are now reversed, also with Magician. So like we have these 3 players here reversed, things are not working out. Things are coming to halt because some kind of conversation is needed, and things cannot progress the way they were. It could have been a third party, because I have a 3 on a 3 and I have a 3 over there as well. And also everything added to an Empress. It could actually link to somebody who is pregnant. The Death card, generally ruled by Scorpio, talks about something has to stop. The way it was, it cannot continue. And also, this is like my sneaky trickery card, somebody really doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Kind of like, look at this, I'm grabbing whatever I can grab, and I kind of don't care. I don't like this. Honestly, I was getting this card from my ex. If I today do the reading, I would get this card from my ex. And whenever I see this in other people's readings, especially for you coming out as an outcome, I will tell you, watch it. Watch your back. This person is not going to backstab you like the card that was jumping out, but this person is going to do worse than that. Well, if there is something worse than backstabbing, I guess it would be taking your pride away from you. And you are Leo. Everything with Leo is about the pride, and some kind of dignity is eroded when I see this card, right? Look at this, 2 of them add to 20. 20 is the Judgment because these two are such a heavy, or 23, which is the Hierophant. And Judgment and Hierophant would talk about some kind of marriage. It would talk about, you know, some kind of direction that cannot go like this anymore. Judgment is talking about you have to make a decision that is right. You have to take the right path no matter what. But I don't think that somebody will. You guys, and here is the Judgment card showing up. So this is the Karma card, really literally showing up. You guys, please tell me your input, your comments. I really appreciate it. Very intense, but you know what, like, you should see Cancer's reading. This is nothing. They almost like had like sort of a God's messenger kind of period. Like, I mean, I don't know, like with 6 of majors just in the first raw. So even though this kind of feels like maybe harsh, it could be worse. But look at this, look at that input, like lots of things in your head. Look at this, swords, 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 and this is the air. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then here, swords, swords. Like, there's lots of things happening in your head. So it is kind of like thinking back and forth about his partner, because the partner, there is like some big unknown about the partner. Look, it's one person is clearly trying to move forward, because now we have the Queen of Cups and now we have a Knight of Cups, but we had a Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands. I don't know, are there 2 couples over here in a situation? You see, when I said about Judgment, it's like it's asking you to do the right thing. But when the Judgment is reversed, you're going to do, somebody will be going the wrong thing. And this was also kind of like connected to Hierophant, to divorces. An Ace of Cups is now falling in the category that is not going to work out. So this spark, this movement forward is blindsided, it's sidetracked. And somebody, whether you or them, is still thinking, oh, hey, we are going forward, full of love, full of expectation, where the other person is hiding, or not maybe even telling, I'm not going forward, I'm giving up. There is another 3-party person. When, you know, this is about Pyrrhic victory. There is telling me that there is one person in the situation who is know-it-all. It's the one person who is or thinks that he or she is pulling the strings in this entire situation. You see, look at this. We have her blindfolded in fear and denial. So there is somebody who is in denial and going from 7 to 8. So you're going from something that is taken, or something that cannot work, something that has been robbed, robbery, lying, deceit, to somebody who doesn't want to see that. Somebody is oblivious to everything that is going on around them and feeling, well, I'm just fine where I am, because it could be worse if I just even wiggle out of the situation. This person, he's saying, oh, I tried a lot, and I just cannot try anymore. Feeling at a loss. It's kind of weird. I'm telling you something, even though it could be some kind of like brutal exchange back and forth, because the Page of Swords does have that flavor. It's going to be really, really weird here. The moon means we don't know what's going on. It's going to be a whole bunch of things that are still resurfaced. The moon is talking also about the psychic connection. So pay attention to your dreams and pay attention to that information that will come out. So here we have the Emperor. I guess somebody's trying to stabilize, and the things from the past are still very resonating. You see, it's kind of progressing from 20 to 21, but it's both reversed. Somebody is really getting, look at this merchant scale. He is giving the equal amount to both, but he's measuring how much he gives. The odds are off. There is no give and take over here. It's like one party that is giving and another party that is taking. And the party that is giving is continuously trying to, it's not only giving money, which this case could be money clearly, but it's giving like resources, time, possibly even legal support, possibly, you know, other support, because like we have on this end like very strong cards, but the other party seems to be kind of like not all over there. So conversation is going to be about some kind of details. It's going to be, okay, so what needs to be done in the situation to stabilize the situation, to move this forward to the next stage, because it doesn't look like the two of you are on the even level. And it's kind of weird. The party who is actually better off is feeling like it's not. Right? So the party who wants to go forward is actually the party that is in a much stronger position than the other one. Oh boy. So now I know who's going to be the blunt force, the blunt instruments. Look at this King of Swords. And we have a King of Swords, we have a Page of Swords over here. So one person seems to be either remote or unable to communicate or unwilling to communicate, or if he or she communicates, it can be just harsh. It can have a strong edge. It's going to be the edge where this person needs to win. Like we have the two cards clearly that are talking about it's going to be it's my way or the highway, which is kind of weird because they're not in a position to kind of like choose. Just think of the mouse being cornered by a cat, and the mouse is making demands. I want a massage, I want this food, and you know, you're going to be singing a song to me, and cat is thinking lunch, right? So this is kind of situation that I see over here. Yeah, and hence somebody is really controlling. Look at this force. Somebody is really controlling the information that is flowing. It's almost, I think you might even end up being blamed. Check your Mercury Retrograde to see how it's going to affect your sign. Get a blame, because you see, this is how information comes out. Whenever you say something, wherever you think you have a hold on things, whenever you think you're stabilizing, that's why you have the Emperor. Some new information will be kind of like resurfacing, which might not even be the correct one, just so the other person is again back in the saddle and feeling winning, and again over and over and over you'll be feeling maybe things are being taken away from you. And then lastly, it's the King of Wands, which would talk about the quality of the partner. For some reason I'm seeing lots of people. Guys, who are these people? Who is this Queen of Cups? This most likely is you. But then who is this Knight of Cups? Who is this King of Swords? And who is this King of Wands? Lots of people. All of them can be you in a different aspects of your life and how you react. These are up. But all the fire which would be needed to reignite the relationship, which are those fires, are down. With one exception, that this one is up. And this one is actually stronger than all of them together, because the Emperor is the one who can make decision. So this is leading me to believe, and the Empress is actually hiding in this row. She didn't come out, but she is there behind the door number 2. So this is telling me that the potential is still there, but it's going to take a ridiculous amount of nerves. It's definitely the two of you are not on the same page, and neither of you know all the details about the situation. So this is going to be really interesting, guys, because it's going to be nerve-wracking, from feeling on top of the world to feeling on bottom of the world to feeling, okay, well, let's start it anyway, even if this kind of like hurts me, and then again reestablishing this and realizing that maybe this cannot continue going. I'm wondering if your partner has somebody else, because the King of Swords may be a judge as well, or if this could be a brother or some other person that is like very significant who is actually pulling somebody away. It seems to me though that to this partner everything is about the victory and money. That's not a good place to be. You guys need to ask about it. So my dear Leo, I hope this helped, and I really hope to see your comments. And if you're new here, please subscribe. This kind of like sets you in first one to know when I have the live readings. And yeah, like and share, that kind of helps as well. And don't forget, I still have a special annual Taroscopes for only $10. Check it on my site, www.cattarot.ca. And until next time, I love you, Leo. All the best.